Oh man, you guys thought that oil was crazy? Brother, have you heard of turbo fuel? Because oh my god, it's insane. Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where last time we built our mega oil pipeline. A super massive project that's bringing about 3,000 oil back to our base. And today I'm super excited because today we're actually gonna use it in our new super power plant. And also leave a like for the new updated power poles. There's a mini update and now they have just a little bit of spice. And I like them a lot more. Before they're like really drab and dead. Now they have a little something something and they're adorable. Much better. Anyway though, we do have work to do. Number one is figuring out what's going on with the pipes here. Because last time I asked you guys if we needed any extra pumps along the length. Oh. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was asking if we needed any pumps in between here for these long stretches of pipe. And from what I gathered, most people are pretty unsure, but generally, people are like, look, once they're filled, like the pipelines are filled, they should be fine without any pumps. So we're not gonna add in additional ones. So we're just gonna move and groove and get things started. First things first though, I need to count up all of the oil we're actually gathering up and power shard all of the extractors here. And I think we have about 10 in this water area. We're just over here, by the way. Our bees right here, all of the oil right in here. Just in case you guys needed a little bit of oil yourselves. Alrighty, and I just finished going through all of the oil pumps and stuff, and it's looking like we have about 2,400 oil per minute that we can bring back to base here. Mainly because these pipes can only handle 300 liquids per minute. So unfortunately, we're pretty constrained, but 2,400 oil is a lot. And we can do an incredible amount with it. Oh, and also, thank you guys for in the comments, you corrected me on the water here, but 2 of these are now on 100% and one's at 50%. Because we need 2 water pipes going back to base as well, with 300 water each. So those are gonna be really, really handy for when we get into some of the spicy recipes. And oh boy, oh my god, there are some spicy recipes, guys. Oil is insanely versatile. There's so much we can do. But first off, I gotta get back to base here so we can do the things. Oh boy, so you guys ready to get this party started? Cause it is going to be wild, brother. All right, so you know how I mentioned oil was really versatile? Well, check out all of these recipes just to do with oil. Look at this, it's insane. Also, you might notice turbo fuel because I went on a hard drive collecting hunt during one of the live streams and we unlocked it. So we have turbo fuel now, we have all these like recycled rubber, alternate polymer resin and residue and all this stuff. It's like, oh, it's a lot. There is a lot going on. It's like, oh man, I can imagine for most people, like you see all this and it's like, bruh, help. And I don't really blame you. This is crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And I guess, where do we even begin? Well, we're making a power plant, so I guess we begin with turbo fuel. Yeah, turbo fuel, by the way, is only unlocked through hard drives, and it is like 1 billion times better than normal fuel. So I think in a fuel generator, these guys, they take about 15 normal fuel per minute to make 150 megawatts of power. Whereas turbo fuel takes only 4.5 per minute to make 150 megawatts of power. So it's like more than 3 times better. It's huge. You want this. If you're making a fuel power plant, find the turbo fuel recipe. It is gold. It is the chosen one. Of course though, it is not all that simple to make. Number one, 18.8 turbo fuel per minute. What is that? What kind of number is that? That is weird. I don't even want to think about that. And then we need 22.5 fuel per minute and compacted coal 15 per minute. we're gonna leave that alone right now, and we're just gonna focus on fuel. So we want as much turbo fuel as possible. So I guess the number one thing is to find a good number of fuel to produce that works with 22.5. And I think, in fact, no, I know that 22.5 times 8 equals 180. So that's a pretty nice number to work with, especially when we're dealing with oil and fuel and stuff. So we need 8 refineries making it turbo fuel. That is what we're gonna start with here. And I'll try just making like a demonstration setup here. This is not where all the refineries are gonna end up being. Okay, so there we go. That's the turbo fuel refineries. Then 180 oil per minute. What are we dealing with that? Well, or no, fuel per minute, sorry. Okay, so we have this alternate that makes polymer resin and fuel. Let's see how that works. 60 crude for 40 fuel per minute, and then 30 of that polymer resin. What about the normal recipe though? 60 for 40 fuel, wait, what? 60 heavy oil residue for residual fuel? Oh, this is heavy oil residue. Okay, well this just takes the crude oil. All right. Well, we don't really want to use just straight up crude oil. I think we'd rather use the residue because then we could be making plastic and rubber with the crude oil. Yeah, you see here? Like this takes 30 crude oil and then it makes both plastic and 10 of the heavy stuff after it. So I think that'd be more efficient. And our goal isn't really, again, like, our goal is power. But if we get some plastic out of it too, it's like, hey, you know, I'm not complaining. But then looking at both recipes, it is looking like this one will be more efficient for us. For 60 crude oil, we get 40 fuel, whereas if we're making like plastic, or where is that one? Yeah, plastic, we use 30 crude oil for only 10 of this fluid, which we'd then have to convert into fuel. And yeah, that makes only 40 fuel per minute as well. So I think for our purposes, we're gonna stick with this one, and then find some way to deal with the polymer resin. So then if we're using this fuel and polymer resin recipe then, we will need 180 divided by 40. That's about 4.5. So we'll need 4.5 of these guys making fuel, with one of them, well, the fifth one, running on 50%. That's how we get that 0.5 there. And that brings us to the last step, which is what we do about the crude oil itself. So once we power this bad boy up, we can see that each of these takes 60 crude oil. This one's on 50%, so this will take 30. All right. So 60 times 4 is 240, right? Yeah. Plus 30, so 270. 270 oil per minute, crude oil. Is that the most effective thing we could do? Because the pipes, they can handle 300 fluids per minute, right? So it'd be kind of nice if we could have like 300 oil per minute going into all these machines. It'd make life really simple for us later on. So maybe, can we increase the turbo fuel amounts here? Like what's going on with this? Turbo fuel, 22.5, We could increase the turbo fuel amounts, but 22.5 is such a messy number to deal with, man. Not a fan. So instead, we can build each of our power setups here with one extra refinery that will deal with the extra 30 crude oil. So what could we make with 30 crude oil? Is there even a recipe we could use? Like most of these take 60, do they not? Oh, they do not. Okay. So this one takes 30. We can make some plastic, but then we have to deal with this fluid. I don't really want to deal with that. What about this resin? That's 60, but then we'd still have the fluid to deal with. Petroleum coke? We could slowly make a bit of that, but we have no reason to, right? So now we have a bit of a problem. 30 rubber, 30, that's fuel, so we can't recycle anything here. I'm thinking we just make a little bit of plastic, and then what do we do with the extra resin, right? Well, maybe after all is said and done, we're gonna be making this system like a number of times, because we have 2,400 oil, right? So that is 7 different turbo fuel setups like this? Oh, sorry, no. It's 8 turbo fuel setups like this. Okay. So then if we have 8 of these making the plastic, we'll have 80 of the heavy residual oil stuff, or heavy oil residue. Okay. And then we'd have to break that into another system, which, you know what, I think we could figure out later. Right, Mr. Bean? Right. For now, this seems pretty dang good, brother. And now, all things considered, we will have all the fuel we need for the turbo fuel, and oh gosh, we'll be making like an insane amount of power. We'll calculate that a little bit later though. Let's first deal with all this fuel stuff, and then also we'll worry about the compacted coal later. Now, for building all of these refineries, we're gonna build them on the next floor. So this again is the train floor for our base. All the trains are gonna be moving and grooving through here. We have warehousing beneath us, and above us are the first processing floors. And it would be very convenient to have all of our oil stuff on that first floor, because then we don't have to use like pumps and stuff to raise up all of the fuel all that much, because that uses power. So let's rock and roll. Let's go upstairs and see what we can do. So here we are on our first production floor, and oh my gosh, things are gonna get so wild. Like this whole floor, I'm certain it's gonna be all refineries. We're gonna need so many, because I've brought up all of the oil here in this really cool pattern. Like, look at this. Wow, pipes everywhere, brother. And all of them have been balanced out in here to be full of 300 crude oil per minute. So that is a lot of pipes to deal with, a lot of refineries to build, and guess what? We're gonna be building even more than I thought, because I overlooked a critical, literally game-changing almost, alternate recipe. And I overlooked it because it's, for whatever reason, it's in unpackaging, and it's this alternate heavy oil residue recipe. So with this, it takes 30 crude oil and makes 40 heavy oil residue per minute. And why is that so big? Because with that recipe, we can make fuel more efficiently with this recipe. Because 60 heavy oil residue equals 40 fuel, which is pretty much the exact same as the other recipe we're using, except now we're making the polymer resin a step earlier with this recipe, with this recipe, and we're gonna have to add on a ton more refineries because we have an extra step in the chain. Because now we have to process the heavy oil residue. So the end stages of the process are still the same. We're still gonna have the 8 refineries for turbo fuel. We're still gonna have the 4.5 refineries for fuel. And then we have to add on oh so many more to make the heavy oil residue. Because how much heavy oil residue are we gonna need actually? We're going to need 60 per minute. So 6 times 4.5 is 270. 270 divided by what though? Like how much oil residue does this recipe make? 40. Yikes. So 270 divided by 40 equals 6.75. So we'll need about 7 more refineries now to process this. Oh, and that is a lot of extra power, but it's gonna be worth it. Because when we get right down to the brass tacks here, we are going to be able to save on crude oil, which is super, super important. Because this recipe only takes 30 crude oil, and 30 times 6.75 is 202.5, meaning we're only gonna use about 200 crude oil to make this whole system run. And that's like 100 crude oil per minute that we're saving. That's 30%. 30% for a lot of extra power, of course, but 30%! It's crazy! It's crazy! Oh yeah. So this is gonna be a huge system, but man, it's gonna work so well and be super worth it. Okay, so now I've belted and piped everything together, and oh my gosh, it's getting crazy in here, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So all of the heavy oil residue will be produced here, go to and convert to fuel, and then to turbo fuel. All of the whatever blue rock stuff will go out that way to somewhere, I don't know. And all of the, what do we need? Compacted coal, yeah, will go into here, where I've load balanced all of these belts so that everything that enters at this point will be evenly distributed. And yeah, we could hook up the oil to this and it would rock and roll, except we need the compacted coal now, and I haven't really looked into this. Well, that's kind of a lie. I did calculate a little bit of stuff, because 15 per refinery, 15 compacted coal per minute equals 15 times 8, 120 compacted coal, right? Okay, now I gotta double check. Yeah, it equals 120. Easy peasy, nice number to work with. Now how do we make compacted coal again? I know it's in an assembler. I think it's sulfur and coal, if I remember correctly. Where's it at, brother? Minerals, there we go. So yeah, 25 coal and 25 sulfur. Well, 120 divided by 25 doesn't really work out too well. So we could probably just set the target rate to 20 then. So 80% clock speed. That will then only take 20 coal per minute, I think. 25 times 0.8 equals 20. Yep, so 20 coal, 20 sulfur, and then that would make 20 compacted coal. And then we need 6 assemblers like this. All right, easy stuff, man, easy stuff. Except we have to bring it here. And I don't know where any sulfur is. I know there's like one node up here, and I just don't remember. Can we scan for it? Yes, we can. All right, big money. Give me a pure node. That would be so nice. Give me a node. That would be so nice. Okay, there's the one I knew about. There's a second one down here. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's over by our first coal power plant. And then there's a third one way down here by the swamp. That's not good. All right. Well, we need like a lot of it. We're gonna need tons and tons and tons of compacted coal. So I guess we start our little adventure off this way. And we'll check out the north part of the map. Okay, and what are we cooking with this northern node? It is pure. Ooh, well, what a welcome surprise. Okay, so that's like 480 sulfur per minute then. At least that's the max we can get with our belts and with this miner. So that's excellent. And then down to the south, it looks like it's already here. I think I collected from here for research. And it's another pure node. Dude, that is so good. All right, that's really good. I don't think we need to go over to the swamp then for any more sulfur. Like this will last us, absolutely. Just gotta bring it on back to base here now and avoid dying. Always a good option too. And we'll just kind of bring it over the same way we brought everything else over, with a tiny little bridge, and it should be all good. Let's get a weapon though. It's not super safe out here. But yeah, we'll just bring it back to base how we did with the steel stuff here. Just on a pretty boring platform that we'll decorate later. But that's gonna be the sulfur. Node over there, node over there. Cool. And then we need coal. All the coal over in this area we're using for steel, of course. So I know there's other coal nodes around that we haven't used. There's like 2 impure nodes over that way. And there's 2 pure nodes. Yeah. They're like around here. Yeah, right down here, right at the end of the beach. Okay, yeah, so just like right behind the sulfur, 2 pure coal nodes down there. We checked them out earlier when we were setting up our first coal plant over there. So I already know what they are. Now, just to bring them back to base with the rest of the stuff. Shouldn't be too difficult, not too many items here. But then once we do, we can make some compacted coal. And the turbo fuel will be ours. All right, so after a ton of infrastructure work, we have everything we need back at base. I decided we're only gonna get 1 sulfur node right now, and we're not gonna get the northern one just yet, because the pure sulfur node is already 480 sulfur per minute, and that is way more than we need. So we're good there. One problem though was that one of the coal nodes we're bringing over is a normal node and not pure. So, doesn't really matter, but for later it might. Anyway though, I also did a little bit of planning here too. So I didn't want to have to process all of the compacted coal on this bottom floor, because like I said, we're gonna be covering it in hundreds of refineries. So we're kind of leaving that be. And then I was measuring things out, and it looks like we can get another set of refineries on the floor just above. So that's great. More refineries, more power, more awesomeness. But the perfect thing was that there just so happens to be just enough room for 1 more floor right where we're on. And here is where we can do our compacted coal processing. And also, since we have the sulfur here, later on, we could do a little bit of, what's it called? Oh yes, weapons work up here too. Automating all of the nobelisks, rifle ammo, etc. For the moment though, we're just gonna kind of cordon off a little bit of room and build our 6 assemblers, and we'll be all good for that. And they will use 120 of our sulfur and coal. And also, you know what I'm just realizing? 480 divided by 120 is 4, right? Oh my god. Oh, so yeah. We're only gonna be able to make 4 assembler setups with the sulfur we're bringing in. Meaning we can only supply 4 turbo fuel arrays. And we can actually make, goodness gracious, well, a lot of them. We have all these pipes are their own array. Okay, so later on, we are definitely going to need that other sulfur node. That is crazy, man. Crazy. We're gonna still stick to the one for now. Let's get everything all hooked up. Shouldn't take too long here. We'll keep in mind that we need to split this up into 4. In fact, you know, we're not even gonna keep it in mind. We're gonna do it right now because 4 lines of assemblers is pretty straightforward, all things considered, because we can just build them like back to back like this, and that's pretty easy. And it saves us a hassle down the line. Okay, cool. We got ourselves a nice 24 assemblers here, all on 80%, making compacted coal. So yeah, this will fuel 4 of our turbo motor production lines, which is great. Pretty good, at least. It's not great. We could use a little bit more compacted coal, but I'm not gonna complain. Also, it is really nice that we can just put this on 80% and deal with 20 instead of 25 items per minute. 25 items per minute, very annoying. Almost as annoying as putting these splitters in the wrong direction. Right, but there we go. And here comes the sulfur, here comes the coal, and everything is rocking and rolling. And we're using the overflow method here, where half of the sulfur and coal overflows in this direction, half of it goes to the end of the line and overflows in the other direction, just so all the machines are filled properly. All right, but we're done with all that, so all good. And now we have the 4 120 lines of compacted coal. Now just to bring that downstairs, and how do we go about that? I've been using these pillars to bring items up, so I'd prefer not to use them right now. And we have to get down to there. So we could just make a tower going literally straight down. You know, that would be pretty convenient. Just have to find the right tile. And I think we got it. Of course though, there's no way this is making it all the way up. No. So we're gonna have to build a little tower thing. And after we do that, the compacted coal goes to here. And like I said before, it is evenly distributed to all of the refineries. So we needed 15 in each. 120 divided by 8 equals 15. Let me double check the math. Yes, it does. Good, good, good. So that means the compacted coal is dealt with, the fuel is dealt with, all of the pipes are dealt with, and there's only one more thing to do. And that is deal with the shiny blue rocks, i.e. the polymer resin. Because if that backs up in the refineries, the whole system stops and our power grid is dunzos, brother. So what do we do? How much do we have of it? We have 20 per refinery here. I'm pretty sure we have 7 refineries, right? Double check, always good to double check things. Yep, 7. So that's 1,140 polymer resin. And then what do we do with that? I presume we can make plastic, yes? We can make residual plastic and residual rubber. And that just uses a little bit of water. And we have plenty of water, so that's all good. So maybe we could just make both. Let's check this one first though. This takes 60, all right. So 60 and 20 water. The water, we're gonna count as an X factor. We have plenty of water, we can always get more. And the resin is 60. Okay, so we could have 2 of these, and then we have an extra 20 left, which is kind of annoying. Kind of really annoying. Wait, do we even have 20 left? I think one of these has to be on 75%, right? I think we discussed this earlier. A reason why I'm so forgetful about things in videos, guys, part of the reason anyway, is because I work on these videos like all day. So like, I haven't looked into these calculations since like the morning. So I'm like, what's going on, eh? Okay, I'm pretty sure one of these has to be 75%. Oh God, I hope I'm not wrong. Was it these ones or was it other ones? Let me check my notes. Okay though, but I was right. This needs to be on 75% because we need 270 of the heavy oil residue. So that makes 30, yeah, okay. Good, good, good. Oh wait, no, kind of good, good, good. Hold up. So what's 20 times 75% though? Okay, that equals 15. Meaning from all this, we get 135 polymer resin. Oh boy, I love it when everything works out. Well, you know what, honestly though, like we've had it pretty good this project. This is like the first hiccup, you could say. So this takes 60. What about rubber? Is rubber more chill? It takes 40 polymer resin. That doesn't seem much more chill. Does anything take 15? Because like, I'm kind of looking for convenience at this point. This is not our plastic and rubber setup. Like, I'm just trying to get rid of this extra stuff here. Do we have an extra power pole? Yes, we do. And like, seriously, there has to be something that uses this resin. Or maybe not. At least not at this stage. Maybe in tier 7 tech we could use the resin for something else, but it's mainly just the plastic and the rubber. And then there's also the polyester fabric, but we're not gonna worry about that. So let's just make like a ton of plastic for now. So we'll have 2 refineries at full power, which deals with a lot of it. And then we have the extra 15. But then 15 divided by 60 equals 25. Okay, so this isn't the worst. We just have to have 2 refineries on 100% and 1 on 25%. Okay. And oh my gosh, dude. If we have 3 of these, 2 on 100% and 1 on 25%, that means we're gonna be making 45 plastic per minute. So if we have 8 setups, that will be 45 times 8, which I'm already sure is gonna be a really nice number. Okay, it's not like the nicest number actually, it's a decent number. It's 360 plastic per minute, which is almost a full Mark IV belt, and I can handle that. So let's just get these bad boys down. Good. We'll split everything up. Oh wait, no. You know what, we're just gonna use the overflow method here. It doesn't really matter. Most of this stuff we're not actually gonna use for a little while yet, so yeah. Just overflow it like this. There we go. Just trying to make it look kinda good. Righto, and that means we just need the water now. And luckily, we brought some over with our super pipe project from last episode. So we have 600 water per minute just in that pipeline and this pipeline over here. Just gotta bring it on over. And then once the water's here, we're done. It's all hooked up. Everything's rocking, everything's rolling. We just have the plastic going into a sink for now, and that will keep the system moving and grooving. Also took the time to add in a little walkway to observe all of the madness we've created. Oh my God. So this is like 23 refineries. We have 24 assemblers upstairs making the compacted coal, and just an insane amount of work into this. Like, I love oil now in update 3. Like before, it was just spam a bunch of refineries. Now look at all the craziness, the madness, brother. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But with all this, now we finally have the fruits of our labor, our turbo fuel. We have 18.8 turbo fuel per minute per refinery here. We have 8 of them, so 18.8 times 8 equals, I did a little bit of math here. Let's see, 150.4 cubic meters of turbo fuel. Yeah, that's a lot of turbo fuel, brother. Because guess how much each fuel generator needs? I think I actually already said this, but they only need 4.8 cubic meters of turbo fuel per minute to generate 150 megawatts. You guys seeing where I'm going with this? Do you know what that means? We're producing 140 or 150.4. Every fuel gen only needs 4.8. So what we have to do is 150.4 divided by 4.8 equals 31.3 repeating. 31.3 repeating. That's 31 fuel generators. 31 and a bit. And that's not even all of it, because 31 fuel generators times 150 megawatts they each produce equals 4,700 megawatts of power that we have just set up with 200 crude oil. Yeah, turbo fuel, pretty overpowered. Well, not overpowered, like considering all the work we've done to like make it. It's pretty fair, honestly. And then I think net, I calculated the amount of power it took for all of these refineries, and I think it's about 645 megawatts, considering all of the underclocked refineries. So that's a net 4,055 megawatts of power. And then probably, with all the pumps as well, it's probably about 4,000 net power. I mean, that's pretty good. because we can do that 12 times, 11 times. Yeah, we're bringing in 2,400 oil. This only takes 200 one of these systems. That's a whole lot of power, brother. Oh my God, 4,000. 4,000 times 11. That's 44,000 megawatts. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Oh man, I'm hyped, I'm excited. That is our power needs for a long time, a long time. Oh my God, wait. What's 11 times 31 though? 11 times 31 equals 341-ish fuel generators. 341 of these. Okay, that introduces a bit of a problem. And that is that our base is too small to fit in that many fuel generators. Wow, it's too small. And I know this for sure too, because I've done something similar to this. I don't think even to this scale though. This is a bit further than that. Okay, so what do we do? Well, our base is too small. This is overwhelming. This is insanity. This is insanity. Okay, 2 options. We double the size of this red part here and make the base that much taller, which we're gonna have to do anyway because we haven't even started processing items yet. Not really, we just have the temporary bases. Oh my God. So we can make this twice as tall. Or we could spread out all the power plants through this entire desert. Like literally they'd fill up this desert and then some. Those are some options. I don't know what to do. Like, do we fill the entire desert here? No. I like the aesthetic. Like when we're standing like in front of our storage room, looking at the desert's kind of nice, especially once we clean it up a lot. And I don't really want to build our base twice as tall already. Like we're getting all ready to like space elevator height almost. We haven't even started production. So that's also not like the best option. Where else could we build these things? It's too much power, brother. It's like, what? What do we do? Well, I guess one option is we could fill in the entire like rest of the desert with power generators. It's an option, right? We got a lot of space over behind there. We have some space over here. The poor steel factory will be buried. But yeah, it's a pretty good amount of space. Like our base goes out to here. We got this chunk of land. We can put more water extractors down over here too. No, we're gonna do that anyway. That doesn't really matter. I don't know what to do. I am overwhelmed by this decision. Okay, well, you know what? I think there are 2 clear options. Number 1 is we brick the area behind the base. All of this, fuel generators. Everything you see, fuel generators. Or we build taller. Either or, I'm happy with both decisions, and I think I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments below. Let me know what we should do, and your decision will change the world forever. For now though, we're just gonna park our first set of 31 fuel generators just on the same floor here, and then once I find out what you guys want me to do, then we'll move them somewhere else. But I just wanna have the fuel generators down, at least so we can see the system working, but more importantly, that will almost double our current power capacity and set up some actual production lines for like modular frames and all this kind of stuff in the starter bases. And then we can finally destroy them! And that'll be just fantastic. Okay, and for reference, this is what 31 fuel generators look like. Yeah, so we need 10 times this amount. 10 times. Oh my God. Oh yeah, and I just, sorry, this is just insane. I just want to clarify one thing though. When I say brick the desert behind us, I don't just mean like we'd make like a solid, brick of foundations. No, we'd make it kind of look like the trenches on the Death Star. So probably the fuel generators will be a little bit higher, and then we'll entrench all of the pipes so there's like chasms of concrete and stuff. And it'd look really cool. That actually is a decent option. It's not like we're just gonna make like a flat brick. We always, of course, try to make things look cool. But anyway though, It is time. Let us power this puppy up and start to get some fuel generators, turbo fuel in the works, moving and grooving. Oh my gosh, please, nothing break. There we go. There is the 300 oil. Well, actually, we only need 200 of it too, so we have to siphon off a bit more. That's all right. It's all going. Good. We're making the resin. We're making the residue. Do you? And what's going on over here? My one worry is how I set up these pipes here. They go up a little bit, and I'm a little worried they wouldn't get the residue, but they are good. So these guys provide just the tiniest amount of flow rate to get the heavy oil residue up here, which is all we needed to see. There's none of it over to this point yet, but it's getting there. Pipe slowly filling up as all of the oil kind of like trickles on in here. Good. Oh, yeah, it's moving ever so slowly. It's alive. It's alive. And that means we're getting fuel, right? Eventually. There we go. Flow rate increasing exponentially. Very good. There goes the fuel. That's gonna go over to the next set of refineries, where it will finally be turned into turbo fuel. Right? Is it still filling up the pipes here? Whoops. Probably, right? Yeah. Okay, it's gonna take just another half second here, right? It's absolutely no problems. Oh, no, they're not. There we go. It's in here. Yep, and it's slowly trickling in. As the pipe's pressure builds, then we'll get more and more fuel. And our systems will start to run at 100%. But for now, there we go. Our first turbo fuel is being produced. I love you, turbo fuel. You're the best. 89, come on, load up, brother. There we go. We've made it. Now it enters the pipes back here. I just wanna see that beautiful red line, please. Please, do it. Show me the red. Is that not the most precious sight you've ever seen? The turbo fuel is moving out. Oh boy. So this is gonna take a while for all the generators to kick in, but yeah, just with this first little temporary setup, that will be doubling, or near doubling, our power capacity. All right, and it's looking like we're starting to top out here. So around 9,300 megawatts. Yep, that'll do. That is until we start repeating this pattern and getting even more power, brother. However, for now, I think that's gonna be all for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please remember to leave a like. But anyway, have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.